Good day, folks, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to have a look at the new 2024 Tri-Glide Ultra. But before we do that, we need to have a look at this week's viewer bike. This was sent in by Paul, and it is his 2000 Fat Boy Bagger. And I have to say, I have not seen many fatties set up like this. This bike has a touring pack on the back and hard saddlebags. It's also got the aftermarket seat, windshield, and chrome mustache engine guard. It's also got a custom air cleaner cover and a 2-in-1 exhaust system. Looks like it's set up to pile on the miles, so thanks Paul for sending that in. And if you would like to see your bike in a video, send me a pic and I'll get it up on the channel. My email address is in the description below. Well, here we are at my local dealer, Prairie Harley Davidson, located just outside Regina, Saskatchewan. And this is the 2024 Tri-Glide Ultra. This model we have here is in the base billiard gray, and the Tri-Glide also comes in 5 other colors: vivid black, blue burst, two-tone red rock and vivid black, two-tone alpine green and vivid black, and my personal favorite, tobacco fade. And this bike only comes in one trim, and that is the chrome trim you see here. For some specs on the bike, the Tri-Glide is 8.75 feet long. It has a seat height of 27.1 inches and a ground clearance of 4.9 inches. The fuel tank has a 6-gallon capacity and is estimated to get 42 miles per gallon. The Tri-Glide also weighs in at a whopping 1,237 pounds in running order. That's over half a ton, folks. The engine on this bike is the twin-cooled 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine that puts out 93 horsepower and 120 foot-pounds of torque. The exhaust coming off this engine is a 2-into-1-into-2 system, both pipes exiting at the rear of the bike underneath the trunk. The wheels, front and back, are black 7-spoke cast aluminum. The front is a 16-inch wheel with an MT90 tire, while the back wheels are 15-inch with 205 tires. And there's a lot of storage space on this bike, so it's set up to put down the miles. So let's take it out on the road and see how she rides. So a little while back, I took out the freewheeler, and it was a little different experience. I've been on trikes before, but that was back in my hunting days when I was younger. The big thing I had to get over when riding these trikes is not putting my feet down at the stops. It's a pretty strange feeling, and you just do it by muscle memory without even thinking about it. But a trike like this is perfect for someone who can't hold up a heavy touring bike, but still wants to go on some longer trips with the old lady. So let's talk handling. This trike is obviously a little different experience than your regular Harley Davidson. It takes the corners all right, but what you will notice is that you're not going to lean into corners the same way you would on something with 2 wheels. You actually lean the opposite way a little. It's not something I would be looking to take out on twisty canyon roads anyway. Other than that, this trike, like the freewheeler, has the tendency to drift a little while on the highway. The back wheels are not the same distance apart as a car would be. This means that the trike's tires do not ride in the ruts on the highway the same as a car would, and this causes the slight drift. Now, it's not bad at all once you get used to it, but it is noticeable. And also, today is a very windy day, and being so heavy, this bike stays solidly planted even in a strong crosswind. The power on this trike is okay. It's smooth but a bit anemic. The trike has the 114 Milwaukee 8, which is the same engine that I have in my Fat Boy, minus the liquid cooling. The horsepower and torque are pretty much the same. It's a pretty good motor in the Fat Boy, but in this bike, not so much. The reason is that the Tri-Glide weighs in at roughly 500 pounds more. It takes much longer and much more throttle to get this heavy trike up to highway speeds. Now, that being said, once the trike is up to speed, it holds it well, and you'll get down the road just fine. As for comfort, the Tri-Glide Ultra is very good. The seat is very comfy, and having a good back support is very nice. The handlebars are at a nice height for me, being 6 feet tall, and I'm a fan of the footboards. All this gives you a very nice upright seating position. And while we're talking comfort, the trike has a large batwing fairing and windshield. This being such a windy day, I was impressed by how much wind this fairing blocked. I was very protected, even in a high headwind. I found the suspension to be quite stiff, but that being said, I also did not adjust the suspension before the ride. The front forks have the 49 millimeter dual bending valves, and the rear has hand adjustable emulsion suspension. With a bike this size at over 1,200 pounds, you need some good brakes, and the brakes on this trike do the job well. There are dual floating rotors on the front with 32 millimeter 4-piston calipers. On the back, we have a fixed rotor floating 36 millimeter piston caliper with integrated park brake. The Tri-Glide Ultra comes with plenty of storage for a nice long trip. There is a large locking trunk in the rear and an injection molded King Tour Pack. Both combined give you a total of 6.8 cubic feet of storage. This trike also has the park brake, which I mentioned a little bit before, and reverse gear. The park brake pedal is located on the left side, right behind the footboard. Press it down to set it, and press it down again to release it. The reverse gear is a must on a bike weighing as much as this, because you are going to have a hard time trying to muscle this bike around. The reverse gear button is on the right side hand controls. It is the same button as your start. You'll see a small R on it. Now, the reverse uses a lot of power, so I would only be using it as much as you absolutely need to. The infotainment center on the Tri-Glide is a Boom Box GTS system mounted inside the large batwing fairing. It has a 6.5-inch full-color TFT screen. The stereo has 4 5.25-inch speakers with 25 watts per channel. You also have gauges showing your speed, tach, fuel level, and voltage. The digital display features the odometer, trip A and B, fuel range, and gear indication. As for the lighting, the headlight and fog lamps are LED. The rest of the lighting is incandescent. This trike has all the rider safety enhancements as well: ABS, electronic linked braking, traction control, and drag torque slip control. The ABS, linked braking, and traction control all have the cornering enhancements. So the Tri-Glide Ultra is a pretty smooth trike overall. Once you get used to a little bit of the drifting and how it turns, this is a very pleasurable ride. The bike isn't exactly powerful, but let's face it, the people buying this bike are not really the people looking for high performance. But the comfort, in my opinion, makes up for that. This is an excellent trike for those who have a problem holding up a heavy Harley. It would also be an excellent option for those who want to throw their girlfriend, or God help you, your wife, on the back and head out for a long trip. I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed the Tri-Glide Ultra. Now, before I go, I will give a shout out and thank you to my local dealer, Prairie Harley Davidson. They make these review videos possible. Prairie is an independent, locally family-owned and operated business. These independent family dealerships are the ones we should be supporting. So if you feel like checking them out, I will have their contact info in the description below. But let me know what you guys thought of the Tri-Glide Ultra in the comments. And that will be it for today, folks. We will catch you in the next one.